when it comes to accumulation training, meaning building muscle fatigue to stimulate muscle growth, so bodybuilding kind of methods, one method that I found especially effective is called tempo contrast. To be honest, I came up with tempo contrast about 14 years ago when I was training Stan McQuay for his pro card and Gina Aliati for the Miss Olympia competition. It was part of a project I was doing. And it made great results. But at the moment, I couldn't exactly figure out why it worked. Now, the more I learned about hypertrophy and what makes a muscle grow, the better I understood how tempo contrast actually worked. Because I know for a fact that it leads to a much greater muscle pump than the equivalent number of repetition of a regular training method. It enhanced the feeling, the awareness of that muscle when you're training. So obviously it was very effective, but I didn't know exactly why. Now, first of all, I'm going to explain exactly what we mean by tempo contrast. Tempo contrast means that during the execution of a set, you will vary the speed at which you're performing the repetitions. Specifically, it means I'm going to do 2 very slow repetitions followed by 2 regular speed reps. And then I'm going to go back to the slower reps and then go back again to the fast rep. The goal being to do a total of 8 to 12 repetitions. So slow, slow, fast, fast, slow, slow, fast, fast, and maybe slow, slow, fast, fast, depending on how I'm doing. So visually, this is what it would look like. Of course, I'm using humongous weights right now, so I might not make it up to 8, so we'll see. So I'm going to start with slow reps. Slow reps meaning about 5 seconds up, 5 seconds down. It's important that during those slow reps, every single inch of every single repetition, I'm contracting my muscle as hard as I can. You're going to see why in the explanation. And then I'm going to do slow, faster reps, so slow. Fast. Slow. Fast. So that would be 8 reps, and I could go up to 12. Now, the reason why I want to contract the muscle as hard as I can during the slow rep is that the reason why those slow reps work is that when the muscle is fully contracted, blood entry inside that muscle is greatly reduced. As a result, you cannot bring oxygen inside the muscle, and you cannot take the lactic acid out of that muscle. These 2 things, hypoxia, lack of oxygen, and accumulation of lactic acid, lead to the release of local growth factors, IGF-1, which stimulate muscle growth, hypertrophy. Another reason why it works is that when the muscle is deprived of oxygen, instinctively it turns to the faster twitch fibers, because the fast twitch fibers do not function well with oxygen. They don't require oxygen to function optimally. They're glycolytic. Whereas the slow twitch fiber tend to rely more on exudation, the use of oxygen for fuel. So if I'm depriving my muscle of oxygen, I will actually bring in the fast twitch fibers sooner into action, which is why when I'm doing the tempo contrast method, I can't do as many reps as I normally do. I burn out faster because I'm bringing in the fast twitch fibers much sooner into action. So that's one reason why it works. It teaches you to bring those fast twitch fibers sooner into action. Another reason why it works is that when my muscle is contracted, as I mentioned, blood cannot enter into the muscle. As a result, the body panics. So it sends more blood to that region because the body needs blood in that muscle to fuel the contraction and to get rid of the lactic acid. So it sends more blood, but it still cannot come in. When I'm finally switching to the faster reps, where I release tension during the rep, what happens is then blood rushes inside that muscle, so it makes it full. But I don't relax long enough for the blood to be able to get out and clear the lactic acid. So the result is, by switching from slow to fast and then immediately going to the slower reps, I trap more blood inside that muscle. I'm creating a larger muscle pump, more accumulation of fluid inside that muscle. And as a result, my awareness, my mind-muscle connection, I feel that muscle much better. So it teaches you to use that muscle more efficiently because I can feel it work more. That's another reason why the tempo contrast method works well. So it's very effective to stimulate those fast twitch fibers, bringing them more into action. It's also great to create the anabolic milieu inside the muscle to directly stimulate muscle growth. And finally, it teaches you to feel a muscle. And it's important to know how it feels like to contract a muscle if you want to be able to really recruit it and be able to stimulate it into exercise. If you can't feel a muscle work, then you can't make it grow. You can't stimulate it. So anything that enhances your awareness of a muscle will be an investment in future gains. So that's why the tempo contrast is a very effective method to use if your main goal is building muscle mass.